Good morning, children. Now we start with Fayol's principles of management. Now, Fayol was the first to identify the four functions of management. The four main functions of management are planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. All these four main functions of management are first identified by Henry Fayol. But there are 14 principles of Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol laid down 14 principles, main 14 principles. These are division of work, authority and responsibility, then discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, interest, remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure, then initiative and esprit de corps. So first is division of work. First principle of management given by Henry Fayol is division of work. So according to this principle, the work should be divided into small specialized tasks, and each task should be performed by a specialist or a trained employee. The whole work cannot be done by only a single person or a group of persons. Every task should be done by some specialist, or we can say trained or experienced employees. So this is the first and most important principle of management given by Fayol, division of work. He said work should be divided into small parts, and each part should be done by some trained or experienced employees, which are the master of doing that type of work. It is because of this principle in a company we have separate departments for human resources. You may see in one single organization there are human resource department, marketing department, production, selling, financing. All these departments have separate position in every organization. This is because to achieve organizational goals and to work for the achievement of objectives of an organization. But they collectively achieve the organizational goals. In finance department, only those persons are appointed who have the knowledge about how to make finance, make good use of finance of the company. And in marketing department, employees who know about the market condition, they are employed in these departments. In production department or in any technical work, engineers are appointed. So in this way, each and every department have their specialist employees. And second is authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to give orders and obtain obedience, and responsibility is the corollary of authority. The two types of authority are official authority, which is the authority to command, and personal authority, which is the authority of the individual manager. So authority and responsibility are the two terms, which means authority is the means the right to give commands to their subordinates. Whatever the functions to be done in an organization, all are planned, and all plans are made by top level management, and they give commands, they give directions to other units and to their subordinates to work according to the plans made. And these are the responsibility of those subordinates and lower level managers and lower level employees to do the work accordingly as per the command of their administrators. And next is discipline. Discipline is the obedience to organizational rules and employment agreement which are necessary for the working of the organization. According to Fayol, discipline requires good superiors at all levels, clear and fair agreements, and judicious application of penalties. So discipline is the obedience to, means obey the rules of organization, means for example wage rate system, or any when time is fixed for coming for, or working hours is set for employees, this much is the working hours to do their work, and this all rules should not be violated by the employees. Then unity of command. according to Fuel, there should be one and only one boss for every individual employee. Every individual employee, or we can say a group of employees, there should be only one head over one group, so that employees can easily understand the commands and orders of their managers or superiors, or what they are telling to perform, and according employees should also perform according to their command. But if there are more than two boss over one group of employees, then the employees get confused that what they will be have to done or perform. How can they perform their duties with two different commands? So there is unity of command, means one boss over every one group of persons. Then unity of direction. There should be, this principle implies that there should be one head and one plan for a group of activities. Here again also, one head for and one plan for a group of activities. All the units of an organization should be moving towards the same objective through coordinated and focused efforts. There are different departments in one organization, and all are working for the benefit and for achieving the organizational objectives. And organizational objectives are to use maximum utilization of resources for the benefit of society with minimum cost, and to make good profits in an organization. So all should coordinate and help each other and coordinate with each other to achieve these organizational objectives. Then subordination of individual interest to general interest. The interest of an organization should take priority over the interest of any one individual employee, according to Fuel. The interest of an organization should take priority. Yes, organizational objectives or organizational interest should take priority because everyone is working for the organization, not the organization is working for an individual. Every individual is working for their personal improvement, personal interest, but for the achievement of organizational objectives. So every worker has some individual interest for working in an organization. Some employees want to earn more money, so they work in big organizations, or some want to get experience through their working. So the interest of each and every employee is differ from worker to worker. Then remuneration of employees. The overall pay and compensation should be fair to both employees and the organization. The remuneration of employees should be on fair basis. The employees should be paid fair wages, which should give them at least a reasonable standard of living. At the same time, it should be within the paying capacity of the company. Means the wages or salaries which are to be paid to the employees are affordable by the company. In other words, remuneration should be just and equitable so as to give maximum satisfaction to both employees and the organization. If the remuneration or salaries are not up to the requirement of the employees, they are not feeling comfortable for working in an organization. So remuneration should be fair for all the employees. All other facilities like health facilities, education facilities, and other tiffin facilities, these should be given to the employees along with remuneration and salaries. Then centralization and decentralization. Centralization means the concentration of decision making authority is called centralization, whereas its dispersal among more than one person is known as decentralization, when the decisions or planning which are made by the top level management. So this is centralization, when decision making authority is only in the hands of top level management, then it is called as centralization of powers. But when dispersal of powers among other employees also, if the powers to take decisions or to make effective plans or to give innovative ideas by the employees. These rights are given to employees also. Then this condition is known as decentralization of powers. Then scalar chain. An organization consists of superiors and subordinates. The formal lines of authority from highest to lowest rank are known as scalar chain. When the authorities are from top level, middle level and lower level management, and the employees are working in this chain, then it is known as scalar chain. Means top level management includes managing directors, administrative authorities who make plans and policies for the organization. Then they give authority, or they give powers or some authority to the middle level management, means managers and supervisors, to supervise or to give directions to the other employees working in the lower level group to perform their activities, to perform managerial activities. So this is known as the scalar chain. Then order. According to Fowle, people and materials must be in suitable places at appropriate time for maximum efficiency. The principle of order states that a place for everything, for everyone, and everyone in his or her place. This is essentially it means orderliness. When all the work, materials and human resources are in their order to perform the managerial activities, so to achieve managerial or organizational objectives, they work in a particular order, in a particular sequence, so as to take maximum utilization of maximum benefit of resources through their experience. And the advantages: if efficient use of resources, as no time is wasted in tracing the resources. If the resources are used in effectively and efficiently, then there will be no wastage of time, or wastage of resources should be minimized. Smooth and systematic working of the organization. If everything is in order or is in their correct place, then smooth and systematic working of organization is possible. Then increases efficiency and productivity. Yes, if everyone knows their duties very well, then it increases their efficiency of workers and productivity also. Then equity. This principle emphasizes kindliness and justice in the behavior of managers towards workers. This principle emphasizes kindliness. If the employers or higher authority workers are very kind in nature, and they listen the problems and make solutions for the problems of the workers of lower level or middle level workers, then there will be harmony in the working of the company. There should be no discrimination against anyone on account of sex, religion, language, caste, belief or nationality, etc. There should be no discrimination in any of this case. In practice, we can observe that nowadays in multinational corporations, people of various nationalities work together in a discrimination-free environment. Only when the environment is suitable for employees, means they get good salaries, they get better working conditions, and there will be no discrimination of rich and poor, or on the basis of their language, religion or their color, caste or creed, then they work very freely and the organization will grow in such a condition. Good afternoon, children. This is now we are starting 12th point of principles of Fowle's principles of management by Fowle. So 12th point is stability of personnel. Stability of personnel means employee turnover should be minimized to maintain organizational efficiency. Employee turnover means expenditure incurred on the training, recruitment and selection of employees should be minimized to maintain organizational efficiency. So if in an organization employees are appointed on ad hoc basis or for short term by agreement, then the cost of recruitment, appointment, their selection, training may be high, and in order to minimize these cost of labor, the terms and conditions of employment must be suitable for employees. Means the time period for their working should be long. They should not be terminated during the working of the employees. Then the expenses incurred on employees should be minimized or controlled. Next is initiative. Workers should be encouraged to develop and carry out their plans for improvement according to FUEL. According to FUELs, workers should be encouraged to take initiatives and takes part actively in the working of an organization. Top level management should appreciate the initiatives taken by the employees, so it can help in solving some problems related to employees, and it can also help in making further plans and taking decisions for the benefit of organization and to achieve organizational objectives. So employees should also take initiatives in the working of an organization. Then last is spirit de corps. It means harmony among employees. Management should promote a team spirit of unity and harmony among employees. When there is harmony of work in employees, unity in employees, so management should work and should promote teamwork. Then only the teamwork should be possible. Without harmony among employees, or if there is no unity among employees, then the teamwork or the work done by employees are not up to the mark, because objectives would be difficult to realize. If there is no team spirit, then the objectives of the organization should be difficult to realize. It would also result in loss of coordination, and without coordination, the working of an organization is not possible. So management should promote and encourage the spirit of harmony among employees, and it will result in better and improved working conditions for the employees, and they can work for achieving the organizational objectives.